Alright, Bush. Alright, lovers, how's it going? Our Pants here. Got a videos for you tonight. Did a review that Chieftain tank, didn't I? I got there just in the event there. I just spent the money and I didn't bother doing the event because it's out of bollocks. So just got the tank. I just thought I'd do a review of it for you. You know, a bit of a tanker, like collecting them and all that. So anyway, let's have a look at the tech stuff. You know, so I mean it's tier A premium heavy tank, right? But it's has some interesting characteristics for a heavy tank. I mean, it's pretty fast. You'll see it in the gameplay. It can move around. I mean, it's almost as fast as a lot of medium tanks in tier 8. So it is pretty mobile and terrain friendly. It's got a decent gun. The gun is it's a rifled gun. So I don't know if those, a lot of you probably are familiar with it, but if those not, a rifled gun actually, it's not smoothbore, so it's like the difference between an actual rifle and a musket. The shell has rifling on it, which means it spins, so it spins when it leaves the turret, much like me when I leave a nightclub, fucking head spinning, and it's supposed to make it more accurate, you know, and make the overall shot more effective, which is why rifles replaced muskets back in the old days. So the tank has this gun and it's pretty decent. It's got a fantastic rate of fire, right? The reload on it is fantastic. It's like the reload on the Tiger, Porsche Tiger. And its alpha damage, well, it's alright, but it's not fantastic. And you can get into DPMs with heavier tanks, but you'll see that you're not inflicting damage, and it also means that you gotta pop your head out more often to fire. Now, let's talk about this head a bit, right? The head on the tank, the turret on the tank, has massive armor, right? And disproportionately so compared to the rest of the tank. Plus, it has these amazing slopes you'll see there on the tank. So, it's going to bounce shots all day long on its turret, right? But, here's the problem, right? It has a massive head and small body, it has no armor underneath. So, if it's a person, it looks like this. You are going to find problems if you're not hull down, if your hull is exposed. With only 80mm of armor in front, you're going to be penned by everything. You're like an Essex girl, a Bacardi Breeze, or promotion. I mean, everything's going to pen you. And I think this is it's a bit of weakness in the tank. If you get hull down, the turret is going to bounce shots all day long. You'll see I bounce some shots in here. But if you can't get into that hold down position, and you know in some maps it's not always possible, and if you're in a brawl situation and the front of your tank is exposed, you're going to get penned, and you're going to get penned by everything. So this really is the very definition of a hold down tank, I would say. If you're in a good hold down position, and then you can use that DPM, you can actually put out a lot of damage, and you can outshoot other tier 8 heavies. The pen numbers on the gun are pretty good as well, I have to say, because with that rifled gun, it is actually a very effective weapon, so it's pretty good as well. So you can see here the tank, as I said, it is mobile. It moves very well for a heavy tank. You're not going to have any problems getting around the map. As I said, it's almost drives like a medium tank. It was a British tank though, made at the time when British engines were pretty crap. I don't know if anybody should remember your parents having British cars at that time. They used to call them Friday cars. They were made on Friday before everybody went to the pub. They kept breaking down. But so far this tank is pretty reliable. Now this guy's AFK, so I'm just I just fired both types of rounds there, so you can see how it pens, and also see the damage numbers on it. So it's pretty decent, right? And you've got a decent enough reload. In this game here, it was going pretty well until this IS-6 here. By the way, he got disconnected. I think he's just AFK, and obviously he was there at the start because he moved and he just got AFK. So what I decided, we're gonna get flanked here. So I told you before, like what I do sometimes is I use AFK tanks the way that the British used to hunt tigers in India, right? They used to stake out a goat, and then they climb up a tree near where the goat was and just wait for the tiger to come along to kill the goat, and then to shoot it, right? So you can do that with AFK tanks, and you can try to even up things if you can take out one tank. So you can see I'm using that tank there to try to only expose my hull, and I'm trying to hold the flank well, I thought the others might go off and try to do some damage on the other side, but actually I'm not really sure what they ended up doing, because I hold this flank here. I thought I might just get nicked one in there, but that was, but with your fast reload you can afford to take big chances like that, right? I thought I would see, like, you see the bases running down too, and they're behind. So I don't really know what the other guys are doing. I can't really look around because they're being swamped here on the other side too. I don't know. But they went up on the wall, I think, right? So anyway, so here's the DPM monster here, the Tiger, right? So you can see I'm actually kind of matching them shot for shot here. And actually I do alright here against the Tiger. Unfortunately, I'm going to get pushed on both sides now, so there's not really. And you'll see here I'm not able to bounce the shots. Once I'm not only exposing my hull, once the rest of the tank's out there, I'm not really bouncing any shots. Everything is penning me. But you can see the gun is pretty good. I'm doing damage, I'm penning too, but unfortunately they're just all sides of me here. There's something behind me as well, so and I'm not, even when I'm moving around and wiggling my ass, I'm not going to be able to bounce tanks, you know, or bounce on shells for any of the tanks behind me. The armour's pretty poor. Its only armour really is on the front of the hull, that's it. Even on the sides it's easy to pen. So it's really just a hull down tank front on, that's it. So again, second game, Naval Frontier. I don't know why they're about Naval Frontier, because it's like I've just picked a couple of the games that just the first few games I played in it. I always like doing that. I always like just when I get a new tank and I do a review, I always just like to film the first few games, just put them out there so you can experience it raw, you know, not to show highlights and make myself look brilliant. Well, I'm not brilliant anyway, I'm pretty average player, but you know, just to show it raw so you experience it like I experienced it, right? So it's odd that I think 3 of the first 5 games I played were Naval Frontier, but I guess that's RNG, isn't it? So again, this is again, I think I lose this game as well, actually. Actually, I think I lost 3 of the 5 games, the first 5 games now. But I did enjoy playing, I have to say, you know. As you can see, the tank is mobile, it gets around, as I said, which is great, right? Now, I'm going down here to use the hill to try to only expose my hull, or I'll get the tank down. This is not going very well. Don't really know what the lads were doing here. But you know what I'd say about this tank is it is good tank, it is fun to play, but there is nothing spectacular about it. It's not particularly there's not one thing you could say about it. I just wanted to show you this here. If you look, it does have good gun depression like all British tanks, and this makes it good in this situation. You see there's very few tanks to be able to make that shot in. And of course then when you're obviously doing that, you're only exposing your turret and the front of the turret, so that makes it very strong. Now unfortunately here, you saw there now, I was able to bounce one shot on the turret. Now unfortunately here, it seems that all the reds are coming at me. I don't know, it might actually be because I'm in a premium tank, the Chieftain, right? Because actually I did get quite a lot of comments about it. Noob, gold, noob, go fuck yourself, gold, noob. That was quite original. You know, a couple of other games just when they started. So it might be that they're all piling onto me just because I had the tank. So there you go. But it's kind of difficult to review a tank if you don't have it, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't really be interested in just sitting here watching me have it showing you a picture of the Chieftain or the fella with the massive head who has to carry it on the food trolley like I showed you. And not having footage of tanks, so I'm not really sure how I can review the tank for you without actually having it. So there you go. So they all just decide to leave me then after killing me. Go off and finish this guy and they just pile into me. So you'll see here I get one more shot in, but you know, I haven't a chance really, am I? So I'm not really sure. If anybody has any ideas how I might have won that game, leave it in the comment section. I pretty much appreciate it, you know, I always learn them. The old IS-3 here, don't really know what he's doing. He's kind of like a monkey trying to fuck a doorknob or something, isn't he? He hasn't a fucking clue what he's doing. And then he just drives up onto the, which I'm not really sure what he's trying to do. It reminds me of those videos you see on YouTube, don't like people trying to park. I was going to say women, but that's not really fair, is it? There's as many bad men drivers as women. So there you go. So yeah, I mean I finished top there, but I didn't do that much damage. So it just shows you how poor the team was. And the next game here, Fort Despair, we actually win this one. Tanks beat the fuck. Actually won one game in it. But again, I just want to show you this game because I actually tried to fire HE round at the Panther M10, which normally you can pen with everything, but it went through, but didn't do that much damage. So we'll just show you that. But this, we had a decent team here, and I did okay. But I think I finished 3rd or 4th, and it wasn't so bad. But it's not spectacular. But again, I got around the map pretty well, which is, so you'll see the tank is terrain friendly. It hasn't, like, just to summarise about the tank while we're watching this game, there's nothing particularly spectacular about it. The gun is good and it's accurate, but its damage per round is low for a tier 8, but that's compensated by having higher rounds per minute. It's mobile. It does get around the map. You can see here, you know, it's almost as mobile as something like a mod, T54 mod 1. You know, so it sort of is like a gets around like a medium tank. And it has that massive turret armor on the front. I think it's 252 or something like that millimeters, so you're going to bounce shots all day long at that. But then it doesn't have good armor on the sides of the turret. So even if you go hold down but your sides of your turret exposed, you're going to get bent. And it doesn't have good armor then on the front of the tank. It's only 80mm, which for there's the HE shot I showed you there. You can see the 72, so we switch back to AP. It doesn't have good armor on the front, so it doesn't have heavy armor, heavy tank armor on the front. Unfortunately, it just doesn't. So if you're up against one of the IS range or something like that, and they're front onto you and can get shots in under your turret into the front, it doesn't matter whether it's into your lower bases or whatever, they're going to pen you all day long. So just be aware of that. It is not going to be it's not going, if your armor is exposed other than your turret, it's not going to be a good brawling tank. And even its DPM is not going to compensate for the fact that you're going to get penned. You're not going to bounce shots, because I mean, certainly in my experience, when you're brawling, particularly if there's more than one tank against you, you do need to be able to bounce some shots to give you that extra bit of space, right? And this is not going to bounce. And we saw them when I was brawling in the other games, that I wasn't able to bounce any of the shots that were coming in at all, no matter how much I wiggled and jiggled and all that. I just wasn't able to. You can see there when I rammed too, if I had rammed that in another heavy tank, I would have sustained damage because I hit a side on and a medium tank. But you saw there, I actually sustained damage because the front armor is quite light for the heavy tank. So there you go. So that's it. So they managed to get me all the missions done there, and I did, but I didn't do that much damage. And you'll see where I finished. I think I finished 3rd or 4th in the game. So there you go. So just to summarise, I just say it's a decent tank. It's fun to play, but it doesn't have any armor except the turret. So just be aware of that when you play it. But do enjoy it. It is pretty good. Take care. Cheers, boys. See you now. Bye, bye.